A quick overview. Of course, it is military. They are harsh. They
That is discipline.
That's discipline on a very
Optimistic
meaningful, optimistic sense. You feel, or I felt, brotherhood. Like if you're about to get a study program, you will do some sort of like helper jobs.
For paying your bills, correct? Yeah.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong about those jobs. And I was seeing all the job descriptions, and I was thinking like, freshman, those recruiters, because they have this experience, they see those many CVs, they grasp a feeling of which is like made for that job
generic
description,
one.
and which is a generic one. It is like this: you don't take time for your CV. The recruiter has the experience to see that, and he feels like, okay, I won't take time for this CV. Use LinkedIn. And use LinkedIn organically. If you know 60 people, you know 60 people. If you know 600, fine, you know 600. Never use LinkedIn inorganically. There is no need for that. If you know someone, ask him for LinkedIn. When I be at that job and I excel because I know the shortcuts of that Udemy course, I know how to maneuver through Excel very quickly. I know how to use SAP. I know how all those things. You will excel on the field. What are you going to do in this time? It's like 16 hours of like your whole lifespan. You have to go through them. They will be awful. They will be having hard work, concentrated work, and then in the very end, often most of the time will be spent like, I don't even get an answer from that company. Why should I do this? I tell you why. There are some things where like Western media says like, Indian government does this, it's not so good, and so on and so on. But if you see it in a historical grown way, 300 years of oppression, 300 years of like being led by a different country, making political decisions in that country very hard to have like a good outcome for the Indian people. I guess for me, it's an understandable way that this country seeks independence on a global scale. One thing to say, if you ever plan for going to Germany, I guess I said it already, but learn the language. Even if someone is telling you, they have English courses, you can do English courses in Germany. But the thing is, it is not about the study program itself. It is about getting a job.
Hi guys, this is Yash back again with Now You Decide, and we have an amazing friend with us over here. He's from Germany. He started his career in defense and then moved on being a consultant of one of the big four firms called EY, and he has an amazing story. Let's discuss about it. Over to you, Philip.
Thank you for having me, Josh. As you already said, I'm a consultant at EY, cybersecurity in Germany. Very interesting field. Very interesting study I do, business informatics. And yes, I was at military. There was some time in between military and EY, and yeah, it is now my exchange program here at University of Leeds, being a student at the School of Economics and Law in Berlin. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself. I think I did not do justice with your introduction. But anyways, so we would like to know how your career got drastically changed from being in defense in the country of Germany to becoming a consultant or being one of the employees of the big four firms at UI. Come on.
So, first and foremost, military in Germany, it is due to our history, one of those things which may have not the best, it is seen in society maybe not as the best job because we have our history, but still it is very needed with like the newest changes in geopolitics. Germany got more interested in their own security, let's call it that way. And it is still military, even though it is a modern military. So it is a huge opportunity for yourself to um, learn discipline, to learn structure, and to learn hierarchy. Not in a bad sense, but in the sense of that I was I was a teenager, being freely lurking around my time, and it helped me to grow some um, capabilities, to grow character, which is capable of really taking the responsibility of life, which is sometimes very, for me, very scary because it takes the ability to kind of shift your thinking from like what happened to reflect on that, to maybe think what was good, how to improve, to use this knowledge in your presence, to be aware about the surrounding, to be aware of what happens, and then to kind of plan out where you want to go. Because there's just this thing. If you just do without any planning, you might end up somewhere you don't want to. And if you just plan without any doing, you will end up nowhere.
Correct, correct. Career guidance and career planning is very much important. And it's more of a vaccine for your career death. So it's better to prevent by planning and prioritizing things up. Absolutely right, Philip. I call him Phil. So, Phil, we want to know how you landed up with your different jobs after defense, and in a quick go, how you shifted from defense, then your several other jobs, and being a consultant, and what was the storyline?
So the storyline was actually I started off thinking about before military. I started about thinking after school, what should I do, and I was very unclear. I was always raised in maybe this Western thinking about how you can approach life, do whatever you want. There are so many opportunities. Just pick one which suits you. But it was just too much because life is so rich. You can choose anything. Okay, it is like just it numbs you, and you end up in a kind of like um, yeah, just like in a problem to really think about what is then the one thing which fits to me.
Fits you.
There
In
are
a
so
calling.
many. I don't know even any, and I just finished school, so I had to take either social service or military service. And I was thinking, okay, social service, I know this. I know friends of mine who do this, and I knew I would not really gain something new. Military, besides that, was the very thing which I didn't knew. I always had like my own theories about military guys being so strict. Maybe the lower ranks would be a bit stupid, like those like preset cliches about military guys, violent, rough.
So you were very curious about it, and hence that
Exactly.
motivated you.
Exactly. In the end, it motivated me to kind of make my own picture of it,
Okay.
to see how it is if I really do it. And that's how I decided to go there. In a quick overview, of course, it is military. They are harsh. They
That is discipline.
that's discipline on a very
Optimistic
meaningful- yeah, optimistic sense. Let's call it that. And in the end, it is still great. You will feel, or I felt, brotherhood, and it is something different if you have like people accompanying you or you accompanying them to move really hard times. So hard times in the sense of being having very strict orders. I don't know, maybe don't sleep well, sleep in the woods, eat not well, eat in the woods, and all those kind of things. It is exhausting, but still, on the other hand, it builds character. And after that, I still felt like after my service, I still felt very uncomfortable with me approaching life. I was able to do the things I had to do, but they were not really feeling right. It was feeling a bit like there's
something missing from inside, and
Exactly.
existential questions.
kind of. And I guess uh, I still balanced the question. There's existential questions,
Yeah.
and there's the need to kind of go on and work.
Right.
And then by chance, I met a psychologist.
Okay. Okay.
And we got into a talk, and he was telling me, how about therapy? And I was just like, therapy? Am I mad? Am I looking that crazy?
Am I crazy or what? There's such a stigma in our society. Come on, yeah.
Exactly. Like, okay, he wants to pull out the straitjacket on me. But in the end, I got to know that it's a spectrum. You don't have to go mentally asylum kind of crazy,
Right.
Joker crazy to
go to a therapist.
Exactly, and get help. And getting help always felt, and asking for help especially, always felt like I'm a man. I should sort it out myself. I should like
manliness, right?
Yeah, masculinity,
Yeah.
And still I think a bit like that. Because you have to first think about what are your problems, how you can help yourself. Well, maybe there are problems where you just need help, and it is not bound to the context of therapy. It could be also bound to the context of anything else. And I would say it was a good decision to go there.
Great. So you felt happy with it, right?
It helped me. That's the thing. It helped me, and it helped me.
I think more than happy, saying it helped me feels a lot. Right? It's more personal. Correct?
It is more personal because it gave me the tools to like work out those kind of situations where I was not able to fit in to produce maybe a very good outcome, because I was like kind of hold down, dragged because of my own emotions. I maybe
you were drawing yourself back.
Exactly.
Right.
And nowadays I can better manage and maneuver to situations my character is not built for. And that's a very,
you have better resilience now?
I would say so. Both of them made me more resilient. The military made me more resilient in a way of thinking about really hard times where other people decide what you do, what you have to do, and to kind of just eat the shit in a very colloquial setting.
Correct.
And the therapy, I was able to do that, but I did not felt good with this. So therapy helped me to be resilient, to kind of fit in my soul and my mind to the things my body was like kind of approaching. So it got like a holistic triangle of like a more equal going through life.
Correct. So you went to the therapy. Before that you were there in army, and then you landed up in UI, right? What happened after therapy? Where did you go?
The thing is, I wanted to study. I was like about to study philosophy and economics. It felt very right, and I always had this plan to somewhat become a consultant in a strategy consultancy, or somewhat to go in that direction, because I always loved to do something about like process optimization, to talk to people, but on the other hand, to kind of have business. I love techniques. So you see, I was very unsure where I'm fitting, because everything was a bit feeling right. And so I was reading about jobs, and I got this feeling that a job where I can look into different businesses, look into different perspectives, could be a great fit. So I had this dream, but I knew I had to study for it. So there is this way of we approach life in our society. First and foremost, learn it and then execute it. Okay. So, okay, I went for the study program and enlisted for that. And then I had some spare time because in Germany study program starts in October, and at the beginning of the year I enlisted for October. So and therapy ended in July 2021 or something. So there was some time in between.
Right.
And I was thinking, okay, I need money and I still need structure.
Structure and money, correct.
And I got a job. So I got a job at a trash company.
Trash company.
Yeah, exactly. It was, to be honest, I always wanted to be.
I was not expecting this at all when you were going to say that I got a job, right? With your expression. But now I'm very keen to know how you landed up and why.
Yeah, first and foremost, there are many jobs more usual to students. Is it being a waiter? Is it being some helper at, I don't know, maybe
Correct.
your office doing some Excel sheet?
Not just in Germany, in UK too, right?
Exactly. I guess it's everywhere. Like if you're about to get a study program, you will do some sort of like helper jobs.
For paying your bills, correct? Yeah.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong about those jobs. And I was seeing all the job descriptions, and I was thinking like, oh, trash man. Since a little boy, I wanted, or as I was like very young, I loved huge machines, blinking lights, and I was thinking that's the way to go. Great opportunity. So I took it, and I got on this one trash can, and this truck was just, pulling the trash from my nowadays boss to cut in there. I was on that trash car, and we moved to, we had our route, and it was Friday, very beautiful Friday, sunny. We were very sweaty, and then we approached this huge estate. So, and I was thinking, okay, what's going on? And my boss, the driver, was saying, yeah, we will now have our break. It's midway through. We will have a coffee, a cigarette. We will enjoy our Friday, and then the week is done. And I was like, okay. Got on this huge estate, and then there was like Knut, my boss, nowadays boss. And we had this amazing espresso, sitting in the sun. And then he was asking me, yeah, I don't know you, who you are, you're new on that car, never seen you before. And I was telling him, yeah, I was military, blah, blah, and what I wanted to do, like I want to be in the end goal, becoming a consultant, doing philosophy and economics to kind of have a very broad base of knowledge and methods to fit in that job description. And he was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I felt a bit like, what is going on here? Mm-hmm. Like, who is that guy? Why he's like talking that to me? Why he's so interested? And he was like oddly asking me or saying, in a sense of, some people, they don't see or recognize chances. And I was like, what do you mean? And out of nowhere.
Was he hinting you something?
I actually never asked him. So this will be maybe always the great mystery about this story.
Okay.
But the thing is, out of nowhere, I was just like, do you want to help me?
Mm.
And without even thinking about what I just said. Mm. And he was like, yeah, for sure. Why not? Just ask Ingo, the boss of the car driver, the truck driver, for my contact details, hit me up and you can come later in the evening. And I was like, oof.
For doing what?
Exactly, for doing what? He was saying, bring your CV and we will look into that. And I was like, oof, what does this mean now?
Okay.
So, super shaking. I was going back home after work, taking a shower, refreshed, undress, redress, doing like the last adjustments to my CV and printed it out in 2 versions, got to the estate, talking to him. And then in that moment, I gave him some sort of like, adjusted CV where the therapy was like, I did not lie, but
you missed out something. Omitted.
Yeah, I reframed it to some sort of like gap year experience to kind of like self finding storyline without necessarily needed to put in those like very stigmatized words of therapy and all those kind of stuff. But still, I don't know why I had a real one with me. So where everything was like really with the words, therapy and all that, put it in place. I gave him the CV, the fake one. No, I said it, the fake one, the framed one.
Correct, yeah, the framed one. Yeah. We'll cut it out, okay?
The framed one. And he looked at it, and I was thinking like, it's so odd, it's so absurd what's happening here, it's so surreal. And I gave him the real one, the one where it stated therapy. And he said, now it makes sense. Now there's a reason to help you. And to frame it, he's a partner at UI, like it's a big company, a huge company. So it was a high stake game, high risk game for him to offer a job to someone he's barely knowing and who had this like problems. And besides that, he did that.
You informed them about yourself, you confronted, you told the truth.
Exactly. And he was not refusing. I was just thinking if he refuses, still a good story to tell. And life will go on anyways.
Yeah, you'll tell to your grandchildren.
Kind of, exactly. And then I was just like, in that very month of 2021, I was starting at UI, doing an intensive study program, which is dual. So what that means, you work and study at the same time. You have it for bachelor and master, and you will always have block-wise of 3 months study and work. And both of those blocks, like one block of study, one block of practical work experience, will form one semester. And you have to write a paper about the transfer of what you learned at university and how you applied it in the job.
Great. So you mean to say that you learn theory and do the practical and then it sums it up all, and then this is how your semester ends up, right?
Exactly.
It's amazing. Germany, an amazing place to study.
It is language. Unfortunately, still a big issue. Yeah, that's very, very hard. I have to say, if you want to come and make a living in Germany, you have to know the language. There is no way that
I'll tell a fact about myself. Okay, so in my undergrad, I chose a foreign language. I chose German as a foreign language, and I aimed for my master in German. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I was supposed to meet you over here. I came to UK because of the fact the course was bilingual, and I had to complete half of the course in German and then half of the course in English. Though I was learning German, but it was not so easy for me to grasp up in an academic sense. Still, there are a lot of courses in Germany with no tuition fees, minimal tuition fees at public universities, and great academicians and great professors, faculties, and MBAs. So definitely, Germany is a place to study, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, and in the end, I started that program in August 2021, now finishing this year, becoming then a consultant, full consultant at EY. And I guess this whole study program, it shows that Germany is a way of approaching academics very pragmatically. Because in the end, if you're not aiming for a job in academics, you want to learn something like a basal understanding of your like future work.
Okay.
You want to get the methods, you want to get like a broad overview. Let's call it this, it's a bachelor. It is supposed to like set you up for a particular field of your interest to have a broad base of knowledge to kind of take any kind of job in that field.
Absolutely.
And therefore, it is a great opportunity, but still it is very intense. So that's where the name intense program comes from. Not that much free time.
Right. Never thought of that.
So you have like kind of 20 days a year.
Yeah.
But compared to normal students, we all know student life can be, especially at bachelor's, can be also a way of like making friends, going out for clubbing, experience like your youth. So there's this decision you have to take, and the very question: do I want to do either that or that? As often in life,
the decision lies in your hand, and you should take it for yourself. Correct.
Yeah.
So, Phil, you told a lot about these things, right? Would you like to guide our friends or young friends who are looking forward to go to B school and get into consulting roles at Big Four or Big Three firms, right? Would you like to just give them a brief with pointers how to prepare their CVs or how to apply? What should they keep in their mind now in a sum?
Yeah, for sure. So first and foremost, there are nowadays always approach the way of looking at the other side, not as some sort of like big corporation kind of giant, and you're like this tiny David fighting against or like approaching this Goliath. It's a human being on the other side. So there is someone who studied business, psychology, whatever, some sort of kind of this, and he ended up in a HR job, doing his job great, searching out CVs for the other teams that they can focus on their work, kind of asking the question how we can be a better employer for the persons who already be employed, how we can be more attractive to those who are like the great minds of our world, how we can like maneuver through our competitors also getting those like great minds. Right. So there's this company with the identity and their sayings about them, and then there's this guy actually reading your CV.
Correct.
So make yourself like keep that in mind, and then keep in mind that this person, his special field of interest and work experience is not finance, is not cybersecurity, is not whatever job you're applying for.
Correct.
He's like matching job descriptions to all those CV letters he got. So make it short.
So he's just trying to compare the job description with your CV, and he's trying to find the correlation between the two, whatever matches best.
Exactly, kind of this, and he has no time. He has like 8 hours of work. He has to do meta work to kind of answer emails. He has to do then in a short period of time, maybe working on the CVs for the cybersecurity team, working on the CVs of the finance team, and all those kind of stuff. So he has a fixed time frame, and don't distract with cover letters. Don't distract with like 2-sided CVs. Make it short and precise, and always ask yourself what you said is very right. There's this job description. Maybe it contains the word S4HANA or some other very specific word they search for this specific knowledge. Try to do it on the very top. Try to like point out the other experiences you have interested. Don't lie, never lie, but try to kind of just highlight it. That you have it.
These are called buzzwords, right? This is how it's tracked in applicant tracking system.
Exactly. And don't make the mistake that it comes in like you have experience with S4HANA, great. It's a fitting job. And then you talk about blah, 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 blah. And then at the very end or somewhere in the middle, there's this word. Why? Why not put it like in the very first sentence, right at the very first line, there's like S1. And then
spike in the CV.
Exactly. And then you should always try to be very careful with bulk or generic CVs. So what I learned is those recruiters, because they have this experience, they see those many CVs, they grasp a feeling of which is like made for that job
generic
description,
one,
and which is a generic one. And the generic ones, it is like this. You don't take time for your CV. The recruiter has the experience to see that, and he feels like, okay, I won't take time for this CV.
Correct. So he understands. They understand. They are smart enough. Obviously, they are smart enough to understand if you put efforts or not. Correct.
So how you can do it to save up time, because unfortunately it is awful to have like what 100, 150 job descriptions, we all know, and then to write like what 150 CVs.
Come on, it's not easy.
It's
right?
not easy.
That is why you have to shortlist the companies also you want to apply, right?
That's the very first step.
Yeah.
So the very first step is like prioritize what is my interest, and then on this very first step you will search for companies, you will use Google, you will use LinkedIn, you will use all those kind of stuff, and then on the second step is you will have all the job descriptions, and then you will prepare in a like a sense a CV which you can use like some sort of template. But no, I don't only mean necessarily the format or the design template. I also mean like preset sentence, descriptions, all those kind of stuff, and you will use those to adjust based on the job description. So what I would recommend, turn on your PC, halfway through of the display, job description, halfway through your CV. Tailor it, save it, CV, year, underscore, company.
Correct.
So then you have all your CVs. It is still its work, but you can save up time there. And then
that's a great advice, by the way. If the audience is listening and the students who are enthusiastic, if they follow it, it makes it way easier for you to develop your CVs, tailor it properly, and apply to several companies if you want.
And then in the back thing, we all know most company unfortunately still don't manage to have the respect to answer. So there will be always unanswered CVs.
You should never be disheartened.
The thing is, you can still track it. So you do after a while, you get like refused, accepted, maybe 2 of them. maybe 20% of them will not be accepted. Make an Excel sheet and just put in like
the options,
the answer. You maybe check it for got an offer. You maybe make an X, declined, and maybe you fill in a 0 or blank space, whatever fits to you, to see, okay, never got an answer.
So track yourself. Even if the company is not providing you a tracker.
Yeah,
because Big 4 does, Big 3 does. But there are companies who do not provide you a tracker or respond to you, right? Exactly. First of all, never be disheartened, be open-minded enough, and then track yourself.
Exactly. And have the courage. If you got an, like, they said no, just write that one email, 2 sentences. What was the reason? Did my profile was not fitting? Was someone else like a better fit? Did something missed on my CV? Maybe you get an answer. If you get an answer, be lucky about that, because they will tell you what they missed, and you can make sure in the next round you will have those things set it up.
Absolutely.
So that's the part about like CVs. And then there's a very important part in our nowadays. Use the tools you can use.
Oh.
So maybe I will elaborate a bit more on CVs after this point, but I just want to fit it in right now. Use LinkedIn, and use LinkedIn organically. If you know 60 people, you know 60 people. If you know 600, fine, you know 600. Never use LinkedIn inorganically. There is no need for that. If you know someone, ask him for LinkedIn. Stop asking for Instagram, ask for LinkedIn.
Correct.
So build up your network there. Why? Because all of those recruiters will backcheck you. And they will, when you get like in the final rounds, they will backcheck those people. And it is a great opportunity to tell, to have some authority to what your CV is saying without having them. Ask professors, ask people you work for. Can you give me a recommendation? I can pre-write it. You can adjust however it feels right to you. Please use that. And a very, very important thing: never ever try hard on LinkedIn. What I mean by this is, any of us does Udemy courses. Any of us do watch YouTube videos. You don't need those certificates. You don't need them. Why?
Practical experience, right?
First and second, there's like the thing, you can easily skip videos on Udemy to just get a certificate. And another thing is, there are, how to say, it's nice that you're interested in things, but if you can do it, you will show, and there's no need to prove it by an online video.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if you really want to, I recommend you to pick out the most 3 top important certificates you got there, put them there, but don't do Udemy courses like I learned 55 minutes about the shortcuts of Windows. So with all those said, it is just important that it is always giving you a sense of like organic authority on LinkedIn, on all, on your CV, on your approach. And you can, as I said, you be the better certificate of a Udemy course or something else you learned than some sort of like, wishy-washy certificate you can get or not get.
So in short, you should go for top 3 certificates which are important, even if
you want to go.
Yeah, if you want to.
If it's a paid one. Yeah, if it's a paid one. You paid for a certificate like Prince 2, PMP, like project management
PMP,
certificates. You can put that clearly.
Or certificates like the new fields that are coming up, UI, UX, and all these things.
You can do them, but don't overextend.
Yeah, right.
Them. Make them specific to what you want to achieve in life, and don't tell people, yeah, I learned about like Office, I learned about JavaScript, I learned about I don't know, UI, UX or design thinking, and in the end you apply for an accounting job.
Absolutely. There are people who come to me like asking, I have been guiding a lot of students since my undergrad. So what certificate courses should I do, or should I gain one or not? Like, it's more often that your practical experience works and talks, actually shouts, right?
Exactly. If you have the choice, so take it that way in a prioritization. If you have the chance to get practical experience, go always for that.
Yeah.
If you don't have the chance, and you ask yourself, I have some free time, I can do extracurricular work, I will do a certificate. Ask yourself, which is like the certificate I have to pay for in my field, which is like the most recognized one.
Right.
Either take this one, spare it up, and take the approach to make this, even if it's more intense than any kind of like Udemy or whatever thing. Coursera is better than Udemy, so I would always go for Coursera rather than going for Udemy. You have the great courses there, also great courses on Udemy, but like the way of how you get them, like the final exam and the way that you can kind of scam those Udemy certificates makes them less.
But even on Coursera, right, there are several AI tools that are available nowadays. People can skip the videos. They might not watch it properly. They might not learn it properly, get answers and just get the certificate,
and
right?
People know.
Right?
I know the recruiter will know, and that's why they are considered so less. If you want to learn it, and you learned it from there, it's great. But it has not the meaningful like impact on your CV. It may have also a quite different impact, because if you, as I said, have like all those topics not related to your field, recruiter may think, what is this guy?
Yeah, he's not sure about himself.
Yeah.
No self-clarity.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Does he want to do design thinking or accounting? So that's a very good thing. And then for sure, there are great like tech certificates from Microsoft, from Google. They are really great to learn about things and to set yourself up. You always have to kind of think about, when I be at that job and I excel because I know the shortcuts of that Udemy course. I know how to maneuver through Excel very quickly. I know how to use SAP. I know how all those things. You will excel on the field. You gain advantage on the field. And then the certificate, as I said, becomes very unimportant. You become the certificate.
Absolutely.
So that's my 2 cents to LinkedIn. So always do it organically. So, and then to turn on to go on the CV question, you should always try to not
oversell.
Yeah, oversell, and always try to. It still should feel. Let me give you an example.
Yeah,
English still not my mother tongue, so maybe better with an example. So I want to sell a car. Okay, imagine it's a metaphor. I say a car.
Okay.
You be the car.
Yeah, okay.
So you want to sell to the company.
Mm-hmm.
It only has 2 doors. The engine is in the back, and it's super loud, very loud engine, very powerful, very dangerous, and you will sit very low on the street, can't see barely anything. It has an awful color, good for showing off, not good for day-to-day use, and if anything breaks on that car, super expensive.
Correct.
So what I did, I told the truth, but I didn't sell any kind of feeling. So what a Porsche reseller would do is, those are facts, but he would turn them into something great.
Correct.
It is not that the engine is roaring loud in the back. It is giving you that feeling of power, unlashing right behind your head, unleashing this power of a car, where the feeling of sitting near on the street is so true to the driving experience that you will shoot through the night while feeling the ground being like liquid, and you will glide there, and you will only focus on what you have to see, like the horizon, where you can approach it way faster than anyone else. And those are, maybe I'm not making up a good Porsche reseller, but still I want to point it out where I'm going there. Maybe, I guess you understand.
Yeah, right.
That is very much important, that there are many ways to say things, and there is it will feel maybe difficult in the beginning, but you have tools like ChatGPT. You can consult. Never ever ask ChatGPT for writing you something. Always use it as some sort of consultant. Hey, ChatGPT, you don't have to personalize it, but
correct prompts, right?
Use correct prompts and use it for criticize your work you did. I want to achieve blah, blah, blah. This is the job description. Do you think this fits in? Give me maybe 5 points where I can improve.
Right. And custom instruction. That is one of the good, tools or features that ChatGPT came up with, right? It really helps you a lot. If you learn ChatGPT itself, it's an assistant for you, even 3.5, right?
Yeah, exactly, even 3.5. I recommend, if you are if you're not watching and have a Netflix subscription, have a Spotify subscription, paying like £15, paying maybe
beautiful.
£20. So ask yourself, about those like 20 pounds you can spend on ChatGPT. It is a huge impact for us, really great. It does.
The right place, right?
Yeah.
Investing in the right place for the right
Exactly.
cause, correct?
And that gets me maybe to like a point out was those CV things. Always prioritize the things. If you say, nah, this is way too extensive, he said, like, I have to individualize. Now I will group the companies and I will write like nearly fitting segments of companies, the same CV. Ask yourself the opportunity cost. You maybe be a business student, you may come across this concept of opportunity cost. What are you doing in that spare time? So you made up like, let's say 2 hours, maybe 8 hours, maybe even 2 days of 8 hours. What are you going to do in this time? It's like 16 hours of like your whole lifespan. You have to go through them. They will be awful. They will be having hard work, concentrated work. And then in the very end, often most of the time will be spent like, I don't even get an answer from that company. Why should I do this? I tell you why. Because for those 2 answers, you get like the job. You use all the knowledge gained by not getting an answer.
Correct.
All the like resilience not getting an answer. All the like motivation to improve by all those little things to be then in the right place. And of course, life is always some sort of like in a more philosophical way concept of things we can't control. So call it luck, call it determination by God, or whatever you want to call destiny. There is some sense to life. It is out of our mind, out of our control. Live with this and don't play too hard on you. If you get like 200 applications out there, and then there will be like 3 months passing by, and you get like 3 refusals that they say no, sorry, and all the others won't answer. It is hard, but in the end, there will be 200 other companies. There are so many companies, and there will be maybe a better fitting time. So never ever give up on this. But also not stay at the same level. If those like 200 applications came out of this result, it's like a company. So they make a nice prototype. They work like 10 years. They researched market research, all those different iterations of designs. And then they thought, that's the product. Everyone will buy this product. And no one did.
Correct.
What is this company now doing? They ask themselves 2 questions. Is it the right product? And was it the right way to communicate? So, and they will look into those things. First and foremost, is it the right product? So is it the right field? Was it the right companies, right customers, all those kind of stuff. And then if they can answer this with yes, they will go on and ask themselves, okay, there must be a problem on how we communicated this product to our future customers.
Correct.
And do the same. You have all those knowledge from business school, business studies, and you want to apply it for companies.
Absolutely.
Apply it for yourself. Because in the end, it's economics, and you are a part of this economy as a company is when it tries to sell products. So
align yourself with them and then try to understand your worth also at the same time. That's
exactly. And use the tools. There's so much research about those kind of approaches. Why not use it for yourself?
Definitely. If you can use your calculator, right? When calculator came, this was like AI to people that time, right? So
exactly.
I am from India. Well, what do you feel about India? How is the leadership going on? How is the education? What image do you have of India as of now?
So first and foremost, me being from the West, from Germany, NATO ally, and we always there's this media made up bricks, NATO, They don't like each other. I guess you have to grab some very big, maybe a different episode, information about
It's
what
a
is
lot
going
to
on.
discuss,
It is
yeah.
a lot is going on. And most of my friends I made here are Indians, and they're from all over India.
So how do you feel about the diverse culture that they have? Like about the culture, if you want to talk about, you're not talking about the leadership as a
No, I will just give me my time.
Okay.
I have to set it in. So in a geopolitic way, there are some things where like Western media says like, yeah, Indian government does this, it's not so good, and so on and so on. But if you see it in a historical grown way,
Okay.
300 years of oppression, 300 years of like being led by a different country, making political decisions in that country very hard to have like a good outcome for the Indian people. I guess it's for me, it's an understandable way that this country seeks independence on a global scale, because they see we are India, we are power, as China or Russia or even the NATO does. So I'm not good at geopolitics, so good.
No, you don't have to go there.
But I can see that, and I can really I very much respect that, to have the wish and intuition and motivation from a Indian governmental perspective to reach the very top, to reach to get the best for the country. It's a very, I would say, natural approach for a leader of a country. If they won't do it that way, it's maybe not so good leader for that country. And I like what I know. I like how the approach goes, because, as I said, many of my friends are Indians. You're a friend of mine. You're from India, and what I learned about India, having to know people from New Delhi district, from the south, from the north. What I learned is a very pluralistic, very vibrant culture, very diverse culture, many different languages, different ways of thinking, different religions living there. And what I see is it fits with everything I know about my country. It fits with everything how we approach life. It's the same thinking. It's the same kind of approach towards life, that you should kind of really see life as some sort of like you can't overrule all the different thinkings and approaches. What my 2 cents is, I'm not studied this, but just my 2 cents is you have to think maybe differently if you kind of try democracy with like 1.4 billion people. Then you can do it when you have like 80 million.
Amazing. This is the perspective that usually people have, and I really loved hearing that. Not because you appreciated the government for a few times, but because our audience will be majority of Indians, right? There are a lot of Indian students seeking for knowledge, guidance, and all. And I wanted you to share your stories with them, and I wanted them to know about your perspective about India as a general human being of the planet. Nobody else.
For sure, like
nothing political at all.
so that's to say, it's like my personal opinion that I express now, made by my personal experience, and I have to say that recently I've seen on the news that like German companies are really trying to focus more into the Indian market, to focus more, to build factories. If they have the decision of investing offshore, they will always do it in India. There are huge plants based there. And we have a huge and amazing team called Global Delivery Service in India. Thousands Indian colleagues working there. And they're not doing like the how to say bad work. They're really working on hands-on on the projects, really helping us out, especially because of time. It's amazing that you can continuously work, because when we go to sleep, they wake up, they start their day. When they go to sleep, we take over, and it's like a 24 hours service for the customer in the end. And it's really helpful. And yeah, I guess those are great opportunities um, for companies in the West. And anytime I worked with people from India, studied with people from India, as I said, it always felt kind of like, yeah, different culture, different religions, different language, but it always felt kind of natural. It felt like working with a Frenchman, working with an Englishman. So it does when I work with like the Indian man.
Correct. I coming to this part of the podcast, I can remember the day when we first met for the pin bowling, right? If you remember,
Yeah.
I never thought of the fact that we'll end our discussion or come to the podcast like this, and then you'll be leaving to Germany. Anyways, if I'm coming to Germany, you have to
Please be
show me.
invited. Be invited for an espresso. I would like to show you my hometown. Very beautiful place. Germany has this cliche of being very bureaucratic, having maybe people being a bit angered, and yeah, for sure we have our history, but the people in Germany, as I know them, are really willing to make world a better place, and
Correct.
really try to. We have at the moment hard troubles, many things changing, political diversion is like, we have like huge blocks at the moment. That's democracy.
That's true.
Sometimes there are
Absolutely.
hard times, sometimes there are good times. It's life in the end. Nothing is just always good. Would be a bit boring, to be honest.
Definitely.
So one thing to say, if you ever plan for going to Germany, I guess I said it already, but learn the language. Even if someone is telling you, you know, they have English courses, you can do English courses in Germany.
Germany.
But the thing is, it is not about the study program itself. It is about getting a job. And if you want to get a job, Germans are they love their language.
Guys, if you're listening, if you want to work in Germany, learn German.
Yeah, there are many great resources. We may can link them in the video description.
Definitely.
Where you can learn German for free.
And I'll also mention his LinkedIn profile link in the description so that you guys can reach out to him, follow him, and you can see what this guy is doing. He has an amazing lifestyle. Okay, he has an amazing life story, and some day or the other we might discuss it if he has time. But yeah, he was saying something.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to say there are many great resources out there to learn it, and there's for sure it's complex. Always to learn a new language. Imagine learning now English. Indian. It would be like, I don't know. I guess it would take me like the next 10 years.
We do not have any language called Indian. It's Hindi.
So see, I would even not get the right resources for that.
But I would inform you, we do not have any national language also. There are a lot of
I learned
languages.
about that. It's like 25 languages.
It's more than that even.
See, I would be lost. I'm so glad that you guys can all speak so perfectly English that I'm always like, at least because I know one word or one sentence. Dehanserer.
Huh?
Dehanserer.
Dehansaga.
Like, be careful.
Dhyan se rehna.
See,
Dhyan
I
se
didn't
rehna.
even make this.
But you caught up to the tone.
Okay. 50%. So, but the thing is, I can't imagine. So, if you do, people will recognize you for that. And there are many Indians I know who work in Germany.
Yeah.
One of our study colleagues, his brother is currently working for BMW in the product management team for the breaks. So there are always people, and there are many jobs. We need high educated people who are willing and motivated to work. I guess any country needs those people.
Definitely.
And therefore, if you say you want to come to UK, USA, French, there are so many great countries out there where you can get experience, where you can work maybe for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then get back to India, bring all this knowledge to that country. There are so many great opportunities to build build a foundation for a career. And I mean, me only being like 5 months here in a different country, it's always a huge, huge change. And sometimes it's just,
But you could only enjoy the elixir of your life because you prioritized and planned it out.
exactly.
It's all your decision.
Yeah, I decided. I decided at in the end every morning. So I wake up, and how I plan my day is, I always prioritize what is like the nearest thing to do, and those things I will do. Yeah, for sure, I have some routines, but I don't overextend on them. I'm not a perfect LinkedIn post waking up at like 3 a.m., going for, I don't know, the marathon run and all those kind of stuff. I don't do this. I do sports, but I fit it in. If it's morning sports, it's morning sports. If it's evening sports, evening sports. I don't be that harsh to me. Even if I miss out, I will do tomorrow. And in the end, I decide every day what is fitting, what is necessary to do, what is like the my day planning. So and I guess this mixture of like prioritization and decision making is in the end very much fitting to your podcast name. And what I could say to the people out there is just like, now you decide. That's the thing. It is your decision. You watch this video, you spend it like, I don't even know how long we talk now.
Yeah.
A long time to hear me talk, to hear you talk. It's your decision what you take from this. It's
correct. Thank you so much, Phil, for wrapping this up in such a beautiful way and delivering the slogan to people that you should be the owner of your life. Plan it, prioritize, and you decide. So now we have decided, now you decide. Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes.